If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute.
Many children healed. We've seen midgets grow. We've seen arms and legs that stop growing because the growth cells have stopped. Manda da basata. I don't make this stuff up.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare.
That's the power of the Holy Ghost!
Why do they teach every other theory in science except creation?
Warlocks are enemies of God.
No one's ever going to convince me that the Word of God is not true.
You know, if you put Jesus Christ first, that he'll look after all your bills.
And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal.
And if you want to tell me how to live my life, it better line up with the Word of God or shut your mouth.
I'm loaded. I'm pregnant with miracles.
What do you believe?
Send us the cash.
Welcome to the Bible Dumb Podcast. This is the podcast where two atheists read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I am Davey Hell.
I'm Jesse L.
And we are back. It's been like over a week since we've recorded.
It's been a really long time.
Yeah.
I think it's been over a week.
I don't remember jack shit. And we're pretty much to the place that we get to in every book of the Bible where just kind of over Samuel.
Yeah.
We've been doing King David and Samuel for a long time, and nothing much has happened.
No.
And I don't feel divinely inspired reading each week, so getting ready to move on to something different.
What comes after Samuel? Can we know that yet?
You want me to peek ahead?
Yeah, just a little
Is
bit.
that in the rules?
It doesn't.
Is that against
just
the rules?
Who is next, right?
Well, who or multiple who's? It looks like Kings.
Oh.
Kings is next.
Okay. I don't know what that's gonna mean.
Oh my gosh, there's 2 books of Kings. Well, I think Kings is Solomon.
Oh, and that's who is that?
Is David's son.
David's son. Okay. It's like his 5th son or something, right?
Yeah, it's like the dude destined to kill him, I think. I think that's what we guessed. I don't know if that's the actual thing that's going to happen, but that's what we're guessing. All right, so last time I think there was just like a bunch of David's children had a bunch of incest. And that was all of it. That's about all I can remember.
Incest and assault.
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely.
It was Duggar style assault.
That was a dark chapter.
Yeah.
We needed a little break after that one.
Yeah. It's hard to read this during the holiday season when you're supposed to be happy.
Ain't the reason for my season. So I don't remember anything else. I know David kind of showed himself to be a bad guy because he sent someone out to die in the war. God didn't like that. That's why he's cursed. And that's why someone in his family, we're thinking Solomon, is going to kill him. All right. Chapter 14. Now Joab, the son of Zeruiah, perceived that the king's heart was toward Absalom. And Joab sent Tekoa, and fetched thence a wise woman, and said unto her, I pray thee, feign thyself to be a mourner, and put on now mourning apparel, and anoint not thyself with oil, but be as a woman that had a long time mourned for the dead, and come to the king, and speak on his manner unto him. So Joab put the words in her mouth. And when the woman of Tekoa spake to the king, she fell on her face to the ground, and did obeisance, and said, Help, O king! And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, I am indeed a widow woman, and mine husband is dead. And thy handmaid had 2 sons, and thy 2 strove together in the field, and there was none to part them, but the one smote the other and slew him. And behold, the whole family is risen against thine handmaid. And they said, Deliver him that smote his brother, that we may kill him, for the life of his brother whom he slew. And we will destroy the heir also, and so they shall quench my coal which is left. and shall not leave to my husband neither name nor remainder upon the earth. Okay, so they're threatening to kill all of her children. And the king said unto the woman,
Go to thine house, and I will give charge concerning thee.
And the woman of Tekoa said unto the king, My lord, O king, the iniquity be on me and on my father's house, and the king and his throne be guiltless. And the king said,
Whosoever saith aught unto thee, bring him to me, and we shall not touch thee any more.
Then said she, I pray thee, let the king remember the Lord thy God, that thou wouldest not suffer the revengers of blood to destroy any more, lest they destroy my son. And he said,
As the Lord liveth, there shall not one hair on thy son fall to the earth.
Then the woman said, Let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak one word unto my lord the king. And he said,
Say on.
And the woman said, Wherefore then hast thou thought such a thing against the people of God? For the king doth speak this thing as one which is faulty, in that the king doth not fetch home again his banished. For we must needs die, and are as water spilt on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. Neither doth God respect any person, yet doth he devise means that his banished be not expelled from him. Now therefore that I am come to speak of this thing unto my lord the king, it is because the people have made me afraid. And thy handmaid said, I will now speak unto the king. It may be that the king will perform the request of his handmaid. For the king will hear to deliver his handmaid out of the hand of the man that would destroy me and my son together, out of the inheritance of God. So is this Absalom's mom?
Who's Absalom?
I don't know. He got banished.
I don't know.
That was like the last thing that happened last time. Absalom fled. I don't know. Absalom ran away. Oh, Absalom killed. Okay. It's coming back to me. Absalom killed Amnon, who was the one that assaulted the sister.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Absalom was like, fuck you, and killed him. Okay, so this is, I think this is one of David's wives, Absalom's mom. Because Absalom killed his brother who assaulted his sister. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
So Absalom was the girl's, I don't see her name on the previous page, which is why I don't remember it. Tamar. He was her brother, I think.
He was the assaulter.
No, Absalom was not the assaulter. Absalom killed the assaulter
Okay.
for
Okay.
assaulting his sister.
Nice. Good job.
And then he ran away because he was afraid he'd get punished.
As you would in
I
the
guess.
Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Defending a woman. Get him.
Die.
Okay, so, and I don't know if David recognizes his wife or not here. I don't know if he even realizes they're talking about his children. Then thine handmaid said, The word of my lord the king shall now be comfortable, for as an angel of God, so is my lord the king to discern good and bad. Therefore the Lord thy God will be with thee. Then the king answered and said unto the woman,
Hide not from me, I pray thee, the thing that I shall ask thee. And the woman said,
Let my lord the king now speak. And the king said,
Is not the hand of Joab with thee in all this?
And the woman answered and said, As thy soul liveth, my lord the king, none can turn to the right hand nor to the left from aught that my lord the king hath spoken. For thy servant Joab, he bade me, and he put all these words in the mouth of thine handmaid. To fetch about this form of speech hath thy servant Joab done this thing. And my lord is wise according to the wisdom of an angel of God, to know all things that are in the earth. Okay, so King David somehow realized that Joab was behind all this. He's like, only Joab uses that turn of phrase. So she's busted. And the king said unto Joab,
Behold now, I have done this thing. Go therefore, bring the young man Absalom again.
And Joab fell to the ground on his face, and bowed himself, and thanked the king. And Joab said, Today thy servant knoweth that I have found grace in thy sight, my lord, O king, in that the king hath fulfilled the request of his servant. So Joab arose and went to Geshur, and brought Absalom to Jerusalem. And the king said, Let him turn to his own house, and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house, and saw not the king's face. But in all Israel there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty. From the sole of his foot even to the crown of his head there was no blemish in him. And when he polled his head, for it was at every year's end that he polled it, because the hair was heavy on him, therefore he polled it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels after the king's weight.
I think we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, they just started talking about how hot Absalom is.
What was it saying before this? It was like going into something. What, like 3 sentences before it.
They just said, go get Absalom and let him not see the king.
But it was like everybody, he
reason.
is so beautiful. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, and he starts talking about how once a year he gets a haircut and his hair is heavy.
I feel like they were going somewhere else with it and they lost their track.
And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons and 1 daughter, whose name was Tamar. She was a woman of a fair countenance. So Absalom dwelt. I thought Tamar was his sister. Maybe he named his.
He might be naming his sister after his daughter after his sister.
You don't think so?
Yeah, he is. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. That's nice.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I like Absalom.
Yeah, so far, best character in the whole Bible.
Dang. Who was the best before this? David? Until he went bad? Until we got bored with him?
I guess so.
Shortly after Goliath, David stopped having much return. No, I liked the judges. I liked the girl who killed the guy with the railroad spike before this.
Yeah, that was cool.
Maybe Samson. Samson was pretty cool.
I don't remember that much. I'll agree.
All right. So Absalom dwelt 2 full years in Jerusalem, and saw not the king's face. Therefore Absalom sent for Joab to have sent him to the king, but he would not come to him. And when he sent again the 2nd time, he would not come. Therefore he said unto his servants, See, Joab's field is near mine, and he hath barley there. Go and set it on fire. And Absalom's servants set the field on fire. Dang. From 0 to 60 real quick. Then Joab arose and came to Absalom unto his house, and said unto him, Wherefore have thy servants set my field on fire? And Absalom answered Joab, Behold, I sent unto thee, saying, Come hither, that I may send thee to the king, to say, Wherefore am I come from Geshur? It had been good for me to have been there still. Now therefore let me see the king's face, and if there be any iniquity in me, let him kill me. So Joab came to the king and told him, okay, hold on. That's an interesting way to just get someone to pay attention to you. Just burn down their crops.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
Absalom, don't spoil this for us. We liked you. So Joab came to the king and told him, and when he had called for Absalom, he came to the king, and bowed himself on his face to the ground before the king, and the king kissed Absalom. All right, he's back. We'll see if David forgives him in chapter 15. By the way, we got 9 chapters left now of Samuel. So probably this episode and 2 more, depending on how long it takes me to get through these chapters.
Okay.
Chapter 15. And it came to pass after this that Absalom prepared him chariots and horses, and 50 men to run before him. And Absalom rose up early, and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so, that when any man that had a controversy came to the king for judgment, then Absalom called unto him, and said, Of what city art thou? And he said, Thy servant is of one of the tribes of Israel. And Absalom said unto him, That didn't answer my fucking question. And Absalom said unto him, See, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king to hear thee. I guess deputed means like a deputy. Interesting. Absalom said, moreover, Oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man which hath any suit or cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice. And it was so that when any man came nigh to him to do him obeisance, he put forth his hand, and took him, and kissed him. And on this manner did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. He's just passing out smooches. And it came to pass after 40 years that Absalom said unto the king, I pray thee, let me go and pay my vow, which I have vowed unto the Lord in Hebron. For thy servant vowed a vow while I abode at Geshur in Syria, saying, If the Lord shall bring me again indeed into Jerusalem, then I will serve the Lord. And the king said unto him, Go in peace. So he arose and went to Hebron. But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel. Did I miss a page? Did I turn 2 pages? Nope. All right. This is just like a James spy master now. But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, As soon as ye hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem, that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not a thing. And Absalom sent for Ahithophel the Gilonite, David's counselor from his city, even from Gilo, while he offered sacrifices. And the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. Okay, going back. So Absalom is hanging outside the king's chambers, giving out smooches, making everybody like him before they go into the king's judgment.
Typical politician.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. He's like, oh, man, I can't believe the king judged you harshly.
Yeah.
I would never have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So everybody likes him. He's getting in their good graces. And he says, Yo, David, let me go back to Gershon or wherever the hell I'm from. And I got to go be loyal to the Lord because of this vow I made. David's like, okay, cool. Absalom then tells everybody, when he gives them their signal, blow their trumpets and say, Absalom is the king of Hebron. So he's just taken over that region?
I guess so.
He's just saying, I'm the ruler now of Hebron,
yeah.
This part that I'm from.
Maybe that's why we're going to have kings next, because we're going to have multiple areas with their own king instead of like
of the 5 kings.
Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And there came a messenger to David, saying, The hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. And David said to all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, Arise, and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword. And the king's servants said unto the king, Behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. And the king went forth, and all his household after him, and the king left 10 women which were concubines to keep the house. All right.
Okay.
All right, so it's worse than what I said. Like, this is almost like an uprising.
Yeah.
I thought he was just going to carve off his own little section when he went back, but sounds like the king is actually fleeing the palace. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and tarried in a place that was far off. And all his servants passed on beside him, and all the Cherethites, and all the Pelethites, and all the Gittites, 600 men, which came after him from Gath, passed on before the king. Then said the king to Ittai the Gittite, Wherefore goest thou also with us? Return to thy place, and abide with the king, for thou art a stranger, and also an exile. Whereas thou camest but yesterday, should I this day make thee go up and down with us? Seeing I go whither I may, return thou, and take back thy brethren. Mercy and truth be with thee. And Ittai answered the king, and said, As the Lord liveth,
And as my lord the king liveth, surely in what place my lord the king shall be, whether in death or life, even there also will thy servant be.
Do you think here when they're saying my lord, do you think they're talking about God or are they talking about their king?
No, they're talking about, well, both. So he says, I don't know. So sometimes it's capitalized, which I think means like God.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of weird, the phrasing. It says, as Lord liveth, Lord capital L, and as my Lord the King liveth, lowercase l.
Mm.
So it means both, but they're
Yeah.
referring to the King as Lord as well.
Okay.
And I'm guessing, I'm giving Ittai like a kind of a sneaky voice because I think he's a bad guy. I think he's going to kill the king when those trumpets sound. Because David's like, what the hell are you doing here? You're in exile. You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, yeah.
And Ittai's like, by the Lord, I will follow you wherever you shall go, wherever you may go.
Yeah, that's why nothing he's saying right now is making any sense. He's just rambling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And David said to Ittai,
Go and pass over.
and Ittai the Gittite passed over, and all his men and all the little ones that were with him. And all the country wept with a loud voice, and all the people passed over. The king also himself passed over the brook Kidron, and all the people passed over toward the way of the wilderness. Everybody passed over, apparently. And lo, Zadok also and all the Levites were with him, bearing the ark of the covenant of God. And they set down the ark of God, and Abiathar went up until all the people had done passing out of the city. All right, brought the ark with them. And the king said unto Zadok,
Do they just bring it around all with them? Like anywhere the king goes, the ark goes with them?
I guess they can't just leave it behind.
Yeah.
And the king said unto Zadok,
Carry back the ark of God into the city. If I shall find favor in the eyes of the Lord, he will bring me again, and show me both it and his habitation. But if he thus say, I have no delight in thee, behold, here I am. Let him do to me as seemeth good unto him.
The king said also unto Zadok the priest,
Art not thee a seer? Return into the city in peace, and your 2 sons with you, Ahimaaz thy son, and Jonathan the son of Abiathar. See, I will tarry in the plain of the wilderness, until there come word from you to certify me.
Zadok therefore and Abiathar carried the ark of God again to Jerusalem, and they tarried there. And David went up by the ascent of Mount Olivet, and wept as he went up, and had his head covered, and he went barefoot. And all the people that was with him covered every man his head, and they went up weeping as they went up. This is like, I don't know. I was thinking like, you know how in North Korea, like every time the Kim Jong-un like does anything, like everybody copies it because they're just afraid that it'll be taken as an insult.
Yeah.
I just picture all these people like fake crying up this mountain. Like, oh, I'm so sad too. All right, so what happened? He sent Zadok back to Jerusalem with the ark. And he says, if God really loves me, then I'll return again and see the ark again. And
I feel like God's not going to really love him.
I think this is the end of David.
He's never seen that ark again.
It sounds like David's done for.
Yeah. He's going to die up on this hill.
Yeah. And one told David, saying, Ahithophel is among the conspirators with Absalom. And David said,
O Lord, I pray thee, turn the counsel of Ahithophel into foolishness.
And it came to pass that when David was come to the top of the mount, where he worshipped God, behold, Hushai the Archite came to meet him, with his coat rent, and earth upon his head. Was he just 30?
Sounds like it.
It's just like the Pigpen of the Bible. Unto whom David said,
If thou passest on with me, then thou shalt be a burden unto me. But if thou return to the city and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant, O king, As I have been thy father's servant hitherto, so will I now also be thy servant. And mayest thou for me defeat the counsel of Ahithophel.
David is so annoying with all of this stuff. If this happens, then that means this. If this happens, then that means that.
Yeah.
Like, just stop.
And hast thou not there with thee Zadok and Abiathar the priests? Therefore it shall be, that what thing soever thou shalt hear out of the king's house, thou shalt tell it to Zadok and Abiathar the priests.
All right, so he's setting up a spy network. He's like, okay, you go back and talk to Abiathar, and whatever you hear, tell Zadok and Abiathar the priests. Those were the ones that brought back the ark.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely creating like a spy network.
Okay.
That's what I'm picking up. That's what I think.
Behold, they have there with them their 2 sons, Ahimaaz, Zadok's son, and Jonathan, Abiathar's son. And by them ye shall send unto me everything that ye can hear.
Boom.
There we go.
Yes. So Hushai, David's friend, came into the city, and Absalom came into Jerusalem. All right, Absalom has taken over. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we still like Absalom?
Kinda.
Okay.
Did he do anything too bad? I
Uh,
mean, he burnt down that guy's field
yeah, that
for
was
not.
really
But I think he was like being.
okay.
He's kind of being imprisoned there, right? So he's told to attend the king, and then when he gets there, like the king won't see him. So it said he was just like stuck there for 2 years. When he's like, "I've got a home back in Gershon, my bro."
Oh yeah, I'd be pretty pissed.
And they just keep ignoring him. So he's like, "Fuck this!" Sets their field on fire.
I'm pretty pissed if I like get stuck at work for like 1 extra minute after I've clocked out. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm done. I'm gone.
I don't work here anymore.
Yeah.
Just set the
okay.
nurses' lounge on fire.
Do it.
All right, chapter 16. And when David was a little past the top of the hill, behold, Ziba, the servant of Mephibosheth, met him, with a couple of asses saddled, and upon them 200 loaves of bread, and 100 bunches of raisins, and 100 of summer fruits, and a bottle of wine. And the king said unto Ziba,
What meanest thou by these?
And Ziba said,
The asses be for the king's household to ride upon, and the bread and summer fruit for the young men to eat, and the wine, that such as be faint in the wilderness may drink. And the king said,
Oh, thank you. And the king said,
And where is thy master's son?
How you like that voice? Is it starting to grate on you yet after
No,
however many episodes?
No. Did you think you would have to do the dead and kids voice for this long?
No.
You didn't know what you were committing
I didn't know
to.
what I was getting into, yeah. After like the 3rd chapter, I was like, okay, this was a mistake.
Who would have known that David was going to be in the Bible this long?
And, well, I never thought David did, well, I kind of knew he would be king, but I didn't know we'd spend this much time on him. And Ziba said unto the king, Behold, he abideth at Jerusalem, for he said, Today shall the house of Israel restore me the kingdom of my father. And said the king to Ziba,
Behold, thine are that pertained unto Mephibosheth. And Ziba said,
I humbly beseech thee that I may find grace in thy sight, my lord, O king.
And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shim'ei, the son of Jerah. He came forth and cursed, still as he came. Like, fuck.
Just walking down the street, just cursing.
Goddamn son of a piece of shit.
And he cast stones at David, and at all the servants of the king David, and all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left.
I like this guy.
He's just like
He's
slinging curses and slinging stones. And thus said Shim'ei, I would just call him Shimmy. And thus said Shim'ei when he cursed,
It just sounds so much like Jimmy. It's just so perfect.
Come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. The Lord hath returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned. And the Lord hath delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. Oh, dang, what did he do to the house of Saul?
Well, he fucking killed Saul, didn't he?
Was he the guy that he sent to the front of the... Stole his wife and sent him to the front of the war? Was that Saul? I don't remember who Saul was.
No, King Saul. Okay, who was Jonathan's dad?
Oh, King
Was
Saul.
Was Saul
Okay.
Jonathan's dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. David killed him.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, that was like the whole book of Samuel.
What?
Yeah, the first book of Samuel. Okay. Whoops. I remember.
He was a main character.
Then said Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, unto the king, Why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head. And the king said, What have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord hath said unto him, Curse David. Who shall then say, Wherefore hast thou done so? And David said to Abishai and to all his servants, Behold, my son, which came forth from my bowels, seeketh my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone, and let him curse, for the Lord hath bidden him.
All right. He's just like, he's not hurting anybody. Just let him curse me.
It may be that the Lord will look on mine affliction, and that the Lord will requite me good for this his cursing this day.
And as David and his men went by the way, Shim'ei went along on the hill's side over against him, and cursed as he went, and threw stones at him, and cast dust. Fuck you, David! You suck! And the king and all the people that were with him came weary and refreshed themselves there. And Absalom and all the people, the men of Israel, came to Jerusalem.
What is it? Slippin Jim'ei? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's all I think about every time you say shimmy.
And Ahithophel with him. And it came to pass, when Hushai the Archite, David's friend, was come unto Absalom, that Hushai said unto Absalom, God save the king! God save the king! And Absalom said to Hushai, Is this thy kindness to thy friend? Why wentest thou not with thy friend? And Hushai said unto Absalom, Nay, but whom the Lord and his people and all the men of Israel choose, his will I be, and with him will I abide. And again, whom should I serve? Should I not serve in the presence of his son? As I have served in thy father's presence, so will I be in thy presence. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, Give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Go into thy father's concubines, which he hath left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art abhorred by thy father. Then shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. Gross. Oh, that's what God said would happen. God said someone would defile all of his wives in front of everybody. That was part of the curse.
When did he say that?
When he said that one of his sons would kill him.
Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it came true.
Came true.
This is a weird one, though.
Good job remembering that, Davy.
Oh, thank you. And the counsel of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was as if a man had inquired at the oracle of God. So was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom.
All right.
End of chapter 16. Okay, so that's kind of gross, though. He's just doing it with all David's wives.
Yeah.
All of Daddy's wives in public. like on top of the roof. It's like the Beatles rooftop concert. Everybody's like coming out, just like, what the hell is happening? What's that noise? And they're all looking up. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Nope, pretty weird. All right, one more chapter.
Okay.
We did 14, 15, 16. Okay, we did 3. So if we do this one, that'll be 4 chapters this episode.
And then how many left?
6.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. If we do 2 more, then that'll leave 5 more, and we'll only have 1 episode left.
Yeah, but okay, let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Chapter 17. Moreover, Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Let me now choose out 12,000 men, and I will arise and pursue after David this night. And I will come upon him while he is weary and weak-handed, and will make him afraid, and all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king only, and I will bring back all the people unto thee. The man whom thou seekest is as if all returned, so all the people shall be in peace. I think he's a little overconfident there.
Mm-hmm.
And the saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. They're like, oh, that'd be great.
I like this.
Then said Absalom, Call now Hushai the Archite also, and let us hear likewise what he saith. Was Hushai the spy? No, it was somebody who started with a Z. Never mind. And when Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spake unto him, saying, Ahithophel hath spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak thou. And Hushai said unto Absalom, The counsel that Ahithophel hath given is not good at this time. For, said Hushai, Thou knowest thy father and his men, that they be mighty men, and they be chafed in their minds, as a bear robbed of her whelps in the field. And thy father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. Behold, he is hid now in some pit or in some other place, and it will come to pass, when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whosoever heareth it will say, There is a slaughter among the people that follow Absalom. And he also that is valiant, whose heart is at the heart of a lion, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knoweth that thy father is a mighty man, and they which be with him are valiant men. Therefore I counsel that all Israel be generally gathered unto thee, from Dan even to Beersheba, as the sand that is by the sea, for multitude, and that thou go to battle in thine own person. So shall we come upon him in some place where he shall be found, and will light upon him as the dew falleth on the ground. And of him and of all the men that are with him there shall not be left so much as one. Moreover, if he be gotten into a city, then shall all Israel bring ropes to that city, and we will draw it into the river until there not one small stone found there. Okay, so he says, no, that's not a good plan, because we know that David and his people are actually like good soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to just go scare them off and just kill David. We have to actually go to war, and you need to go to war with them, with your people. That's what I got. And Absalom and
Are they finding David on the road?
They don't know where he is. They think he's like could be holed up in some cave, or he could have taken over a city. They're not sure.
It kind of sounds like he's also planning on like taking them, I don't know, wherever he is, and maybe he won't have as many of his people with him.
Yeah, maybe. And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, The counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel, for the Lord had appointed to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel, to the intent that the Lord might bring evil upon Absalom. Then said Hushai unto Zadok and to Abiathar the priests, Thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled. Now therefore send quickly and tell David, saying, Lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up, and all the people that are with him. Okay, so Hushai told Zadok and Abiathar the priests. I guess Hushai was David's spy. He told the priests, and they run off to and they're running off to tell David what the plan is. He says,
Are they going with the second guy's idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Now Jonathan and Ahimaaz stayed by Enrogel, for they might not be seen to come into the city. And a wench went and told them, and they went and told King David. Nevertheless, a lad saw them and told Absalom. But they went both of them away quickly, and came to a man's house in Bahurim, which had a well in his court, whither they went down. I don't know who's doing what. But the woman took and spread a covering over the well's mouth, and spread ground corn thereon, and the thing was not known. And when Absalom's servants came to the woman of the house, they said, Where is Ahimaaz and Jonathan? And the woman said unto them, They be gone over the brook of water. And when they had sought and could not find them, they returned to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, after they were departed, that they came up out of the well, and went and told King David, and said unto David, Arise, and pass quickly over the water, for thus hath Ahithophel counseled against you. Then David arose, and all the people that were with him, and they passed over Jordan by the morning light. There lacked not one of them that was not gone over Jordan. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass, and arose, and gat him home to his house, to his city, and put his household in order, and hanged himself, and died.
Oh, gosh.
And was buried in the sepulchre of his father. Dang, that was kind of an overreaction.
Yeah, I guess he's, worried that they were going to come for him.
I guess. Then David came to Mahanaim, and Absalom passed over Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. And Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was a man's son whose name was Ithraon, Israelite, that went in to Abigail the daughter of Nahash, sister of Zeruiah, Joab's mother. I like how it just randomly told us who this guy was going in unto. So Israel and Absalom pitched in the land of Gilead. And it came to pass when David was come to Mahanaim, that Shobi the son of Nahash of Rabbah, of the children of Ammon, and Machir the son of Amiel of Lodabar, and Barzillai, and the Gileadite of Rogelim.
Okay.
These people brought beds and basins and earthen vessels and wheat and barley and flour and parched corn and beans and lentils and
Thanks for
parched
trying to make it interesting.
pulse and honey and butter and sheep and cheese of kine for David.
Oh, David gets the cheese.
Yeah. And for the people that were with him to eat. For they said, The people is hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness. End of chapter 17.
Okay.
And then David got some cheese. The end.
Okay.
They haven't figured out cliffhangers yet.
No.
Good story arcs and structure.
No. This has definitely not been invented.
All right.
All right, I'm done.
That's the end? Okay. Cliffhanger, guys. Will David eat the cheese? What will happen to Shim'ei, the rock thrower? I wish we would go back to Shim'ei. He's just cursing and throwing rocks at David.
I like him.
Yeah, he was cool. All right.
Okay.
So we made it through chapter 17.
What's going on?
We have
None of this makes sense.
6 more chapters.
So we're just gearing up for David and what's his name?
Absalom?
Absalom to be in a big war together.
Yeah, they're going to have their fight.
All right.
Here's what I think. I still think Solomon is going to be the one that rules. I think both Absalom and David are going to die. I think they're going to kill each other. That's my guess.
That sounds good.
And then Solomon will be like, I'm king now.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
I think that's fair. I've heard the name King Solomon.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right. Stay dumb, everybody.
Stay dumb.